What does dopamine have to do with your sex life? Well, it starts in the brain. Stay tuned. What does dopamine have to do with your erection? Well, everything. Because if you recall, the brain is the largest sexual organ. All right. And you cannot get an erection unless your brain and your penis are relaxed. And it starts in the brain. The brain gets sensory input from your eyes, your nose, your mouth, from your hearing and your touch. All those five senses feed into the brain, and it goes to a gland in the brain that is called the hypothalamus. The signal is received in the hypothalamus, and then the hypothalamus releases dopamine. Dopamine is called a neurotransmitter, and it is involved in movement, learning, motivation, and reward. It is involved in sexual function, especially with stimulation and erection. Dopamine is released in the brain when you are experiencing something pleasurable, such as sexual stimulation, like through the five senses that we're talking about. The release of dopamine triggers chain of reaction. It's released from the hypothalamus, and then it triggers a chain of reaction in your brain, and it sends signal down to your spinal cord through the nerve. And then the nerve goes to the penis and causing the penis muscle to relax. And when the penis muscles relax, it allows blood to flow into the penis, which then causes an erection. So dopamine can trigger the erection, but it also plays a role in sexual motivation. For instance, if we see or think about something that is sexually stimulating, dopamine is released in the brain. This release of dopamine makes us want to have sex. So when you have low level of dopamine, it can lead to ED, and because dopamine is necessary for the chain of events that lead to your erection, as I mentioned earlier. And if the level is too low, the brain is not going to be able to send the signals that are necessary for an erection to occur. The brain has to send signal to the nerve, and the nerve has to send signal to the penis. So there are many things that can cause low level dopamine, such as depression, Parkinson's disease, and recreational drug use. Some interesting fact about dopamine and erection. Dopamine, however, is also released when we eat food that we love, but dopamine is also released when you exercise. You have to exercise for at least 15 to 20 minutes in order for dopamine to be released, or when you listen to music that relaxes you, that you enjoy. Having said that, you can increase your dopamine level by the food that you like to eat. Sometimes, yes, carb will actually increase your dopamine, but too much of carb is not too good either. That's why carb is addicting. I myself have a sweet tooth for chocolate, and when I eat chocolate, it makes me feel good. And exercise also releases your dopamine as well, listening to music. So that's 3 senses out of 5 that you can do right there. Now, dopamine is a neurotransmitter that sends signals from the nerve in your brain to your spinal cord. So having said that, it is influenced by genetics, by the environment, and by the drug use. And so when you have low dopamine, it can lead to depression and Parkinson and addiction. The release of dopamine is controlled by a number of factors, including genetic. People are simply more likely to have high level dopamine than others. All right, that's just from your genes. The environment plays a role in dopamine release. People who are exposed to a lot of stress have lower level of dopamine. Drug use. Drugs that increase dopamine levels, such as cocaine and amphetamine, can lead to addiction because you're used to that feel me good level of dopamine, so you relate that to the drug use. And you can probably relate that to even sexual stimulation as well. So reward. Dopamine is released when we experience something pleasurable, such as food, having sex, or winning or competition. Expectation. Dopamine is released when you anticipate something that is pleasurable, that you love doing, like you get a dopamine rush. Well, for me, eat that chocolate even before you even take a bite, or dopamine rush and anticipation of doing something that is stimulating, that's novel. And sometimes you can tie this together with porn, because porn yet become stimulating and dopamine rush when there is something new or something different. And learning. Dopamine plays a role in learning. When we do something that is rewarding, dopamine is released, which help us remember what we did. And dopamine is affected by a level of glutamate and serotonin. And serotonin is the feel me good mood hormone. Also, when you have low serotonin, you tend to have more depression, anxiety. But serotonin and glutamate play together with dopamine. So dopamine is a complex process that is influenced by those factors that I mentioned. And even just knowing that, what's important is that you can change your environment to increase your dopamine. How do you do that? Maybe eat the food that you like, listen to music, and also exercise. That will also increase your dopamine level. You can naturally increase your dopamine level by that instead of taking recreational drugs or even consider using porn. And just know that sleep plays an important part in controlling dopamine level. If you're not getting enough sleep, your dopamine level will drop. If you're eating a diet rich in fruits and vegetables, such as the Mediterranean diet, it increases your dopamine level. Exercise increases your dopamine level. Mindfulness practices such as meditation, yoga, increase your dopamine level as well. There are many ways to increase your dopamine level naturally, even being with friends and family and doing things that you enjoy. Remember, doing pleasurable activity will increase your dopamine level. So having said that, I hope you find this helpful, and I would appreciate it if you like and subscribe and comment. Let me know if you have any questions. I love to hear from you. And just know that as a modern man, I have a coaching club that's called the Modern Man Club that I help you restore your sex life again, and I coach you through this. I have a framework and success path for you to follow that you can do at home to get results. And know as a modern man that you can live your best life, that you can live more, love more, and be happy. I'll see you in the next episode. Hello there. Want an amazing sex life? This free gift is going to give you more sex by helping you get harder and lasting longer. Let's talk about the most sensitive subject, the effect that aging has on your sex life. If you're over 40, there's about 67% chance that you have to deal with one or more of these issues. You sometimes go soft in the middle of sex. You sometimes have trouble lasting long enough to climax. Your erection just doesn't feel as hard as it used to be, and your penis is not as sensitive as it used to be. You cannot reach orgasm or ejaculate. You sometimes have trouble getting an erection. These things lead to frustration and embarrassment when you cannot please your partner. My name is Dr. Ann Truong, and I've been treating men for issues like this for over 25 years. As a board-certified medical doctor who specializes in men's health, I helped over 7,000 men reverse the effect of ED. As a way to introduce you to the ED treatment that I offer, I want to give you the most incredible free gift ever. But don't let the fact that it's free gift fool you. This powerful gift will help you get harder and stay and last longer, and may just revolutionize your sex life, making sex more exciting, more thrilling, and an amazing experience again. How is that? So here's what you're going to get in this most incredible free gift. Number one, a good morning wood smoothie recipe. This is my specially formulated antioxidant recipe that will help you get harder and stay and stimulating more blood flow. It is formulated to increase your nitrous oxide level, which is one of the biggest keys to making you harder and firmer more often, and will also help you last longer. It is filled with lots of greens that create more nitrous oxide in your blood. This smoothie will give you that morning wood effect and will also make you harder on demand when you need it most. And you'll see the effect in about several weeks. Number two, nitrous oxide testing strip. You will also get two of these strips, which you will use along with simple instructions to test your nitrous oxide level in your saliva. Nitrous oxide is a gas in your body and is required for good blood flow to the organ. The strip can determine if your nitrous oxide are deficient, which can help us advise you on the best way to reverse your ED. Even more important, since Since ED is an early warning sign of problems with circulation and heart health, this can also be a great way to prevent heart related problems such as strokes and heart attacks. Number three, and the best part of all, a 30-day free trial access to the Modern Man Club. As part of our mission to make men hard again, we launched the Modern Man Club as a way to provide education and support to a community of men who's on the path to reversing their ED, with pre-recorded and live session being offered every week. I will help men regain sexual health through training, support. I will be there all the way with you to hold your hand through so that way you can overcome ED and have your best sex life. Members rave about this session and the sense of community they gain by being a member of the Modern Man Club. And all you have to do is to say maybe to this offer. And once you say maybe, you will be on your way to a more fulfilling and exciting sex life. So all you have to do is fill down the form below, and then I will see you on the inside. Thanks for listening to the Sexual Health for Men podcast. If you love this episode, then please take a screenshot on your phone and post it on Facebook, Instagram, or wherever you post. And be sure to tag me and let me know why you like this episode and what you like to hear in the future. That will help me know what's great for you, and I would love to give you the most incredible free gift designed to help you improve performance quickly. Go to my website at sexualhealthformenpodcast.com to get the book, The 5 Common Costly Mistakes Men Make When Facing ED. I would appreciate it if you subscribe, leave a review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen, and just know that you can have sexual vitality for life. I appreciate you. Until next time.